Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuits. And I'm back for part 2 of the oil sales. I had some issues. I did drop some things. I got it all picked up and we're back in the boat here. I'm going to get a little bit of my metallic brown. Oh, that's a lot of my metallic brown. I'm going to get a little bit of this brownish red. That was a mess. And I'm going to get some of this elephant gray. Okay, that's very wet. Oh my. Oh my. Looking for my junky brush that I always use, and I can't find it. Hold on. It's a classic. Classic. Getting some water. And I get the water, one, so it's not like a real thick coat and I'm not using tons of paint. And two, because it spreads around and gets in all the spots real easy. And I don't care how perfect it's painted. That's not crucial. Now, you're not allowed to actually resell oil. So they refine this, and it's a government resource. So since they're not allowed to do it, they don't call it oil. They call it, squill and Earl and anything but oil. They call it Olay maybe, just whatever they can come up with. Now for this part here, I'm going to get a little bit more paint. I am going to cover this oil stuff a little bit better. With a little bit more. Okay. Now let's do our building. Now I noticed I didn't do a great job painting the back of it. That's okay. We'll just get in there with some of this and cover that up a little bit. Where I have the patches, I got to kind of get up under there. It's just going to look black and boring. This is really good for like Warhammer and stuff, like cheap corrugated blown out buildings and stuff, or any of those kind of like, sci-fi tabletop games like that. I don't play Warhammer really, but I am about to paint a Space Marine up here in the next day or so for fun. But and my son's still working on his unit of Space Marines, the Salamanders. I'm not sure how I'm painting my Space Marine. Probably like a boring one. I gave him one of my cool Space Marines I had, and then I was like, I kind of regret that. So then I got another Space Marine when I was up at Immortals. They have like $5, $7, and $12 different types of Space Marines, like pre-built, that like people have sold there and stuff. And you can just get them like bulk and cheap. Right there I need to get a little extra paint, where the paint got pulled off when I dropped it and picked it up like that. Okay, I need a little bit more water there, believe it or not. More water, yeah. Who'd have thunk it, right? So I got everything pretty coated. I hit the sign up. We'll call this place Earl's Earl. How's that? That's what we'll put on the sign. Now I'm going to get my water, I'm going to get my brown, and I'm going to dirty this up. Oops. I don't want to get it up on my oil things, if I can help it. And I'm going to get my that and that, and I'm going to mix a hideous new color with gray and red and brown and metallic all in there. I'm going to put it on some of the high flat surfaces, and on the ground around here a little bit. And let's hit the building up with that. A little bit on the top in some of these recesses. And maybe in some places where I didn't paint so well and there's some black showing, you know, that might be a good place for it. Okay. Okay. Sweet. Let's air gun this bad boy. Alright, well that's gonna, oh, I dropped my miniature I was working on, broke his arms right off. Oh well, that's alright. He wasn't for a video anyways, it was just an idea I had. Alright, so what we want to do now is we want to do something with that sign so it's not that the color of the whole build. So I'm just going to get some of my favorite color on earth here. If I can find it, pavement. I'm going to get a kind of a flat tip brush or a chisel brush or whatever I can find here. Something like this. Oops. There we go. And I'm going to darken this up the best I can. My brush is a little firm. I'm going to darken my sign up. Okay. Hold on, we're not done. Let me get some black paint. Just like that, just painting that black. Just that inner square part. Okay. Now let's get these small things here. Do these in black. And they don't have to be perfect, but you want to kind of give the impression that they're black. You know what I mean? Okay. Something like that. And you could do the big oil drum too if you wanted, but I'm not going to. Now, I'm going to put that brush down. I'm going to put that black away. I'm going to dry these off. And I'm going to get a smaller brush. And I'm going to do some yellow and red labels on them. I'm going to paint this strap on this yellow, just to add some color. And I'm not putting a lot of effort into that. Okay. Not bad. Now I have a piece of wire laying around here somewhere. Let me look for it. It's all cut up, and I used it for something else. It's gone forever. Oh, there it is. So check this out. This is just a piece of wire. I'm going to snip this off, just like that. Then I'm going to get a little piece of sprue, if I can find one. A little piece of sprue. Where are you? This is actually awesome. It kind of looks like a gas nozzle. So I'm going to get this hot so I can bend it a little bit. Okay. That's probably too hot to touch. Ow, ow, ow. It is. And I'm just going to curl that just like that and let it cool. Okay. And once that cools some and it has a new shape, I'm just going to take this little piece here. I'm going to get a dab of glue. Just like that. I'll pull that tight. There we go. Calm down and cool down. That's going to look a little bit like a gas nozzle or a nozzle you could do some dispensing with. And then I'm going to get a little bit of glue here on the bottom. Just like that. And I'm going to glue it onto the side. Now, you're probably thinking, Doom, it's not going to be painted. Well, no, it won't. That's all right. We'll make it look good. Okay. So we got to get things kind of going here. So let's get our Earl sign painted. We're going to do that in white. I have an off-white here that I'm going to use since I have it out. Oh, that's a lot more than I wanted. That's okay, too. And we're going to spell it a little different. Sweet. All right, we're almost done, but we're not done. Plot twist. Now I have black metallic. If you don't, you can make some. And the awesomeness about black metallic is this. It is super good for oily residues. So I'm going to get in here and I'm going to gross this place up with some wet brush and some black metallic. And this whole floor inside here is probably really gross because they've been refining this right here at their shack. water because it's starting to leave streaks and stuff. I don't want too much in the way of streaks. Okay. Now we gotta let it dry. And I'm popping it off the base accidentally here. Put a little bit more glue for a minute to hold it while we look at it. All right, you get on there. Give it a second to cure, dry, whatever. You know what I mean. And while I'm air drying that, I'm gonna drink a little bit of my adult beverage that has still not sponsored us. That's not quite dry. I'm going to be a cheater. I'm going to get my brush mostly wiped out with water. I'm going to spread that around a little better just to break up some of those really thicker spots that aren't drying. I don't know if that's really cheating or if it's just efficient. It's one of the two. Okay. It does create a whole new layer of different colors of grease. Something like that. Slimy, slimy. Okay. And if this is, of course, fully playable, when they go inside, you have to have rules for them slipping. Acrobatics, balance, whatever it may be. The problem is when you go to buy Earl, sometimes it's not real Earl. Sometimes he has other stuff that just he could get, and he's passing it off. And so if you get it and it has a weird yellow tint or a weird red tint or something, it might not be oil. So Earl's going to start a fight with you also if he doesn't like the way you're doing business. Earl's kind of a jerk. All right, we got one problem here. That's kind of coming off. Let's get a little bit of glue in there. Okay, we'll let that cool. And to make sure that stays in place forever, we'll get a little bit of stupid glue on there. Nice thing about stupid glue on a project like this is it dries clear and shiny. Okay, this one's empty. Get another one, see if it's empty. Oh, there we go. Okay. And we'll just make sure that's on all the parts that we need to hold still forever. I'm just going to get a toothpick to shove that around. Like, I don't need that much up on there, obviously, because there's no oil there. It's just going to be shiny now for absolutely no real reason. I'm going to drag this around on the ground like that. Drag that around on the table like that. Okay. And that's going to be the freshest oil. I feel kind of bad not having any inside. So let's get another glue. That one's empty. Okay, that one's empty. That's how it happens. They just kind of get empty as I don't want them to. Okay, I think that one's empty. I'm just going to get a little piece of cardboard to shove this around. And that's going to dry real super duper shiny. All right, there you go. That is my home refined oil shop. Let's get that on there so you can see. And that's what it looks like. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon, and all that happy crappy that helps the channel grow. Leave comments. That's one of the big ones. And yeah, I can't even think besides that. I'm so excited. Check out the description underneath here. You'll see a link to the website and to the Discord. Both are sick places to hang out. Hang out on the website. Use the discount code down there and get you 25% off your first month of our subscription service for miniatures. And check out the Discord. Today is the last day for places you don't want to live. Oh my gosh. Earl is where you don't want to live. That just saved me a craft. I was going to craft a room with a butthole for a roof, but with poop coming out of it. But I think this is going to be easier on me, just saying. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.